And now you can move that picture of your driver's license to another folder because you want to organize your stuff, right? Well, now imagine that it's that easy to put it on chain. Imagine that you can take any digital asset that you have ever looked at, any photo, any music, personal data. You can take it and just with the click of a mouse, drag, drop, and now it's on chain. And surrounding that piece of data are a number of smart contracts that give you control of your data. So now you can grant access, you can do anything you want. But it's on chain now. It's not on your personal hard drive. So if you spill a cup of coffee on your laptop, goodbye to all your data.
How does it stand in terms of privacy?
I'm sorry, what?
In terms of privacy.
So the current thinking in terms of privacy is encryption. It's all about encryption, right?
Yeah.
So if you put an encrypted asset, so you take your driver's license, and that has some very valuable stuff. You don't want everybody to see it. You take your picture of your driver's license and you put it on chain in an encrypted form. And now, if somebody wants to know your driver's license, for a KYC process, maybe, are you who you say you are? And you could say, yes, allow that person to view my driver's license. That's all the smart contract stuff. But importantly,
so you can
access to your driver's license is protected by the smart contracts. No one can get to it unless you say so.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank
you.
That's the big idea. Daryl, did I get that right?
Yeah, it's a great use case. There's so many, right? But
So now we move on to things like the Netherlands wants to conduct commerce with the UK because the UK isn't part of the EU anymore. So the Netherlands takes a manifest for a shipment and puts it into the blockchain simply by dragging and dropping a file the way they already do. And then when the ship gets to the UK, customs contacts the Netherlands and says, can we see what this manifest is? Netherlands says, okay, yeah, we sent it to you. And now the UK can look at that manifest on that ship and they have a guaranteed digital asset that they can look at. That's another application for this. Daryl, do I have that right?
Oh man, Bill, you're doing amazing.
So now the third use case that I like to talk about is, let's say you go to a doctor and you say, doctor, my shoulder hurts. And the doctor says, well, I'm going to need to see your medical records so that I understand what's going on with your shoulder.
It does, by the way.
I'm sorry.
My shoulder hurts.
So the doctor says, I need to see your medical records. And the doctor gets in touch with your personal healthcare information, which is stored on chain. And you can say, yes, I will allow that doctor to look at my medical records. And bingo, boingo, it's all done. the important thing to understand here is that your data is your data. And people don't get it just because they want it. They actually have to ask. Daryl, do I have that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Zhao, have I answered your question?
Yes, perfectly. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's an exciting time. And I'm just proud to be part of this. The revolution.
I'm not sure it's a revolution, but it is useful.
Well, I'd say it's going to be revolutionary. It's going to definitely, I mean, when you start to think about the implications, it will, I think revolution's actually not, you're right. It's too shallow a word. It's a sea change. It's a sea change for humanity. It's a shift. It's a phase shift for humanity. Maybe that's a better word for it.
So, Zhao, to give you a little more color on this, we have most of the pieces for this already. When Steve Ross Talbot in the previous meeting was talking about the R drive and the NFT marketplace, you know, the NFT marketplace is just one application for this concept. I can take my stuff and I can put it out there on the chain, and now I can say, let someone in the world buy it, right? So that's, I mean, that's so small compared to everything that I was just talking about. But the NFT marketplace is where we're starting, because NFTs right now are attracting investors. And,
Yep.
and we need to have money to build the real thing, right?
Yeah, that looks like a good idea.
The whole word NFT has been kind of,
it's not a word.
The whole acronym NFT has been co-opted by a particular use case of NFTs. And it's been absorbed. The entire acronym represents buying CryptoPunk. You know, it's you know, the term non-fungible token has way more applications than you know, buying a digital autographed baseball card.
Yeah. So the whole CryptoPunk stuff, honestly, given what we have technologically in RPC right now, the whole CryptoPunk is a trivial use case for us.
Yeah.
It's trivial.
Yeah. Well, and we solve something that's important about that trivial use case, which, you know, connects the NFT, which is just a token of a certificate of ownership of something, with that something. And that's that aspect right there allows people to create NFTs out of anything and actually use them for stuff rather than like just sitting there. And so, you know, where this excites me in the music industry is that there's this guy named Gregory Coleman. He's the most famous drummer that's ever lived, and nobody knows who he is, but everyone has heard his drumming. There's more people that have heard Gregory Coleman's drumming than Ringo Starr's drumming. And yet never been paid.
How come that name isn't yours? How come you're not the most famous drummer?
Because I suck in comparison to Gregory Coleman. Gregory Coleman, he played the drums. He was in a band called the Winstons, and somebody in the 90s, I can't remember who first did this, sampled a break from a part of a song. It was a very quick, I think 4-bar break of him playing drums by himself. They took that and created an entire genre of music that has it's on hundreds of thousands, at least maybe tens of thousands at least, recordings, that particular drum break. He's never received a penny, and he died. He died in 2006, I think it was. And he did penniless. He didn't even know the impact. So that's what I want to solve. And we can do this with our RPC's technology. So with RPC's technology, we can take stems from a particular music track. We can take just the drum track and we can identify it, make it into an NFT, a new kind of NFT, and allow the owner of that drum track to propagate it whichever way they want. People are free to sample it. They're encouraged. We want you to. We want you to sample it, use it in other songs, use it in everything, but there's always going to be a trace that comes back to that original creator. So the Gregory Colemans of 2025, 2022, 23, hopefully, will be compensated. Oh, Bill, you're muted.
And so Daryl Newdorf and Greg Meredith need to get together and create an RChain jingle so that we can mint it as an NFT.
Yeah, Greg wants to do a rendition of Rollin', Rollin', Rollin'.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I still think that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, I do too, actually.
I have a question. Is RChain going to mainnet now with these airdrops, or doesn't that have nothing to do with it?
Okay, so I guess you missed the call earlier today, and maybe you missed the other calls as well. So the snapshot of the RChain mainnet will take place this coming Friday at noon, New York City time.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and the rev balance that you have at that time will be used to determine the number of RPC tokens that are airdropped.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, the actual airdrop will only occur will only occur after the RChain community approves the wallet text that will be produced after Friday. So Friday gives us the data. From that data, we will produce a file that will be used for the airdrop. And that file will be published and everybody is allowed to go and inspect it and comment if they wish.
And what's the content of that file?
That file will be rev addresses
Okay.
and RPC allocation, RPC token allocations. Okay, that will be the content of that file. Okay, and once the entire community is done arguing about it, or I suppose cooperating about it. So once the RChain co-op is done doing what the RChain co-op wants to do, that file will be used to create the airdrops. Okay. And at that time, when that creation is done, the RPC mainnet will be real.
Okay.
Okay, that's the overall plan.
Yeah. Now with concern to the update of the mainnet.
You're talking about the RChain mainnet or the RPC mainnet?
The RChain mainnet.
So
because it's still lacking block performance and so or block merge and performance.
Yeah, so the whole block merge thing and no, I mean you're asking very relevant questions. I've been asking these as well. I am not a member of the RChain core development team. I am an RPC person, not an RChain co-op person. And so my best understanding, after having talked to Rao and Tomislav and other people, my best understanding is that there is no current rollout plan for the RChain co-op mainnet. Like I said, I'm not in that team. I don't go to their meetings. I'm concerned about RPC and making that a success. I would encourage you to reach out to Rao for more detail.
Okay, I will do so.
So the
Um,
RPC mainnet will also go through the forks that the RChain mainnet goes through.
that's yet to be decided. That's yet to be decided, Jim. Right now, RChain, the co-op, plans on a hard fork 2 and a hard fork 3. RPC could, if it wished, choose to roll both of those hard forks into a single RPC hard fork. So that those decisions have yet to be made. But the same advance in technology from hard fork 2 and hard fork 3 will also happen with RPC.
Yeah, and RPC, will that run fast enough to do?
Well, it seems to be fast enough now. I mean, for the use cases that we're testing, it seems to work pretty well.
Yeah, and is it a matter of seconds that a transaction or
So-
minutes or
So,
hours?
so right now, I mean, we haven't run any official performance tests on it. But for right now, I can tell you that uploading a 1 megabyte file to the chain takes about 5 seconds.
Okay, that's reasonable.
I don't know. I mean, if you want to publish a JPEG that's 10 gigabytes, you're probably gonna have to wait a bit. But performance is not where we're at yet, right? Performance is
Okay.
not where we're at yet. But the proof of concept that we produced last year, which is in the public domain, and the demo is still out there, you can go access it. The upload speeds seem to be quite reasonable given that it's a blockchain.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's not Ethereum. If you wanted to upload a 1 megabyte file to Ethereum, good luck. Sit there forever.
Yeah, because they don't have storage on the blockchain.
Well, and also it's the sequential nature of their block finalization. And I mean, there's a lot of technical difficulties that get in their way for storing things on chain. Like I said before when I was talking with Daryl, all of the blockchains were designed for doing banking transactions. They don't know how to do this. They expected very small amounts of data to be exchanged and to be finalized within their blocks. And that's the reason they can't do this. So the reason that they have to store their NFT assets on IPFS is because taking an IPFS URL and storing it on the chain is easy, but storing the asset is not.
Yeah, and Tezos does not do it, and EOS.
Daryl, you might be able to speak to this better than me.
No, Tezos and EOS can't do it. Arweave is one that's claiming that they can store data on chain, and they use some kind of a DAG type thing. So I think they're one to watch. And then you have Bram Cohen's Chia project, which I think is quite interesting. I've always been a Bram Cohen fan with BitTorrent. and what he was able to accomplish with BitTorrent was amazing. And I think that he's a really interesting person to watch in this space because he has this whole idea. It's a different consensus model. It's based around proof of time and space, and it's all about decentralized file storage, peer-to-peer. So I think that he's somebody that we should really be watching with, and I think potentially collaborating with. That's one question I've had actually, Bill. You jogged my memory now. Is can there be like a peer-to-peer aspect, a BitTorrent-like aspect, where there's certain portions of the file shared on different hard drives, kind of scattered all over?
Yeah. So Theo and I have actually been exploring this avenue already.
Okay.
And unfortunately, what's required to even approach this topic is sharding and inter-shard communications, which, if I remember correctly, is not due for delivery from RChain until Q3. So yes, the answer to your question is yes. We're already talking about that.
Cool.
But there's not a lot of progress that can be made until RChain makes its Q3 deliverable.
Okay,
And-
so for now,
Obyte,
sorry, Ishay.
the platform Obyte.
Oh, what's that one?
It's and that's it's I will put it in the chat.
Okay. Obyte. I don't think I've ever. I know I've never heard of that. Obyte.
Yeah. It's a Russian who developed it, and it makes also use of a DAG.
Okay. Very interesting. A ledger without middlemen.
Yeah, and before it was called Byteball.
Byteball.
Yeah.
Huh.
I can share my screen for a minute. I don't know if they do sharing or I don't know if they do online storage on the blockchain, but they are on the net for several years already. So,
Okay.
no, I cannot share my screen. Sorry.
I put a link to their website in the chat there. Definitely gonna check them out some more. Thanks for that, HJ.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Daryl, if you could, do a deep dive on that stuff, and maybe talk to us about it on Monday, I think I'd love that.
Okay.
I mean, I do it myself, but I'm busy creating the world.
Yeah. No, we need you to be doing what you're doing, Bill.
All right. So the community debrief is in 5 minutes. I'm gonna pop off and prepare for that.
Okay. Yeah, I need to as well. Jim, I haven't gotten a chance to update any. Did you get any? Did you do any calls during the week that were logged down?
Yeah, the RDev log is up to date. I didn't copy over. I didn't fill in the weekly report yet.
Okay, well, I'll just do that then. I'll just grab from your file there and plop it in there.
Thank you much.
Yeah, thank you. All right, see you guys there.
See you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.